Hello everybody and welcome back. I hope we are all keeping well. To anyone who is new, hi and a very warm welcome. My name's Amy. I am Amy. Yes, so my name is Amy, and it is lovely to have you here. I will say to anyone who is new, because obviously I am very slowly gaining new followers, I am going to point out, as it is a book haul, I am dyslexic, so there will be words that I cannot read/say because I have to have heard them a few times. And then I also have a habit, I don't know if you know any dyslexic people, I can also mix words around in a sentence as well, and I tend to forget words as well, which actually is slightly worse since I had COVID at the very beginning of last year. I'm hoping that is going to improve. I have a brew. We have quite a large selection of books here, so I suggest you get yourselves a brew too. I'm going to have a little bit of my tea and then we will get started. So all of these books are not for me. They are all, so people who've been here a while now will not be surprised at all. They are all, I say all, apart from two. These two were library finds last week. They were 30p each and they're in lovely condition, but I'll show you when we get to them. The rest are all charity shops. So 11 of these are from my sister. She is on her 9th, 10th or 11th. It's one of those books of the year, and we are only in the first week of February. She is a very fast reader. Our mum was a super fast reader as well, so she does retain all the information. She just reads so fast. I am somewhat jealous of her, so yeah, she's quite far along. That we've got one book for our dad. He's not a massive reader, but he does like the odd book. He did read one. I got him a Status Quo one on a guy who's no longer in the band, but he was many years ago. I think his name was Lancaster, and he read that in like 3 days. So when my dad does read, he's not a bad reader either. And 2 were for my son, and then I think 2 or 3 are for me. I think I'm going to start with the 2 for my son and the 1 for my dad first to get them out of the way. So if these are not going to interest you, then you can move along. So if any of you, I'd say my age, like I'm nearly 40, will probably remember this guy from Coronation Street. I grew up, I want to say Coronation Street only used to be on a Sunday. I don't know whether I'm making that up, getting mixed up with Heartbeat, but I do remember Coronation Street was not on as many times as it is. So yeah, I grew up on things like Coronation Street, Heartbeat, because obviously back in the day, there wasn't a lot of kids' TV, was there? And you just sort of watched what your parents watched, but it was somewhat appropriate, or it went over your head, didn't it, some of it. So he was in Coronation Street. He played a guy called Jack Duckworth, and this book is Jack Duckworth and Me, My Life on the Street and Other Adventures. This was £1 and it's got £18.99 inside, and my dad just loved this guy. He was funny, and his wife, what did he call his wife now? Was it My Little Duck or My Little Duckling or something like that? But I think my dad will really enjoy this. Like I said, that was £1 and it's in a nice condition still, and there are photos. We do have photos as well, so I think my dad will really enjoy that. Now my son is hit and miss when it comes to reading, so he's 9 for anyone who is new. Sometimes he will read and sometimes he won't, and we have really gone through this last year, I'd say, where it is quite a battle to get him to read. But suddenly, I don't know whether it's because me and my sister are really into reading now, and he's seeing that, and he's seeing my dad read as well. Suddenly he wants to read. You've probably heard of it if you're watching a book haul. There is a free app called Goodreads. So for those of you who don't know, you can put in authors, books, and it will come up with them for you, and you can do want to read, currently reading, and you can update your progress. So like if you're on page 20, it'll say, I don't know, depending on how long the book is, you are 5% through the book, and you can set yourself challenges for the year. So I've done a nice low one. I've done 6 books and I am 2 ahead of myself already, which I'm really pleased. I think my sister set herself to 20 and she's something ridiculous like 6 books ahead of schedule, but it is only the first week of February. So she did say like last year she had a bit of a lull in reading where she'd got a lot going on, or she just wasn't quite in the mood. So it is, I think, when you set yourself a reading challenge, it is quite good to get yourself ahead. So I'm thinking of putting the app. He does have his dad's old phone, which we don't let him have very often, but thinking of either putting it on that phone or on his dad's phone, because his dad doesn't read. So it'll tell you, like at the end of the year, it'll calculate it'll tell you exactly how many pages you've read. And he really likes the idea. He likes a bit of a competition / challenge. So I think that might motivate him into reading more. So we've got 2 here for him. These were both £1 each. This one was $6.99 originally, and so was this one. This, I might actually have a little read of it myself. There's not too many words on the page. So this one is London 1922, a discovery from ancient Egypt, a cursed package, the untold story of a young pharaoh. So this girl, Lillian, finds a parcel on her granddad's doorstep and is shocked to see who sent it. A famous archaeologist found dead that very morning, according to every newspaper in England. This mysterious package holds the key to a story about a king whose tomb archaeologists are desperately hunting for. Lily and her friends must embark on the incredible journey to return the package to its resting place, to protect those they love and to break the deadly Pharaoh's curse. And I do like Egypt and things. I think I got this from Mary Stevens Hospice actually. And so I pick his books. I've got a rough idea of what he likes, but if he does come with me, then I get him to look and see if he likes anything. But I do also really like the sound of that, and he does as well, so I will probably have a read of that. And then I think if there's a book that I like and he likes, and try and like encourage him if I can read it as well, and then maybe we can discuss it and he might read a little bit more. And then we have The Storm Keeper's Island, magical in every way. Again, this was £1 and it is once in a generation. I cannot say the island's name, but I will flip it over in a second so that you can have a look. The island chooses a new stormkeeper to wield its power and keep its magic safe from enemies. The time has come for Fiona's grandfather, a secretive and eccentric. Again, I will flip it around for you. I did read it the other day when I was reading it to my son, and now it's just like I've lost the ability to read that word. Old man to step down. Soon a new keeper will rise, but deep underground someone has been waiting for Fiona. As the battle to become the island's next champion rages and more sinister magic is waking up, intent on rekindling an ancient war. So if I just do that, and then you can pause to read the words that I could not read. But yes, this is one thing I'm trying to teach my son as well when it comes to reading, that I do struggle to read, but I don't let it put me off reading. But I also want to encourage him to really try and really build up his reading level so that he doesn't struggle like I struggle, which I think there are words that we all have to take a moment or two to be able to read, because they're obviously, you know, we don't read every word every day. And like I said, some people, not even dyslexic, but some people do need to hear a word that's uncommon to know how it sounds, especially as we spell words rather unhelpfully is what I would say. Like I remember a few years ago practicing some of my son's spellings, and he was like, why is island spelt Island? And I was like, that's quite a good point actually. Moving on, we will go with, some of these were 3 for 99p, so I had to take a guess on another one my sister would like. Because this thing with charity shops, sometimes they're £1, sometimes they're 50p, and then one of the shops is they're £1, but they're 2 for £1. So I always end up getting another one because I think I'm spending £1 anyway. Yes, these 2 I got from the same shop. These were £1 each, so we'll go with these. So my sister does really like mystery books with twists that you don't always see come in, and like murder ones. So this is the best from the Anne Glencorner, best-selling author of Lady in Waiting, Murder on the Muscopy. There's Trouble in Paradise. I'm just going to hold that up so you guys can read that for yourself. So basically there is So the people of this island, which I can't say, can only watch and wait as a tropical storm edges towards them from across the Atlantic. And when American heiress Amanda heads out for the morning swim, she doesn't return. Danger seems to surround the island. Amanda's friend Lily is suspicious and scared, and so she asks for help from the person she trusts the most, her godmother. Lady Veronica Blake knows all this island's secrets. She would never desert a loved one in need, and she can keep her cool head in a crisis. Meanwhile, Detective Sergeant Simone Niall, the island's only fully trained police officer, is on the trail of the killer, but the local community isn't cooperating. He desperately needs Lady V's insight to help him solve the mystery before the storm hits. And I just think that's really right up my sister's street. If I turn that round again so that you can pause if you want to read, because I didn't quite do the best of jobs there. Because what I tend to do is, you can tell when I'm reading something for the first time, I'm a lot slower because I'm really trying to process what I'm reading. But in the shops, I tend to sort of look out for titles. I do this for me and my sister, and I sort of skim read a little bit so I can get the idea of if one of us is going to be interested in those books. And then The Girls Who Disappeared. Clever, gripping, terrifying, compelling, kept me glued to the page. This is from the best-selling author of The Couple at number 9, which I think my sister would like, but I haven't come across yet. In the charity shops, 20 years ago they went missing. How long will the truth stay buried? So we have on the back, 3 girls missing 20 years ago, one rainy night. Olivia Ruford is driving 3 friends home when a figure in the road causes her to swerve and crash. Regaining consciousness, she finds herself alone in the car. Her friends have vanished. They are never seen again. Now, journalist Jenny Hallday visits the close-knit community of Staffordbury, I think, to persuade Olivia to talk and solve the mystery of the girl's disappearance. But Olivia won't speak. What happened? Is Olivia hiding something? Are the people of Staffordbury so frightened? Why are the people of Staffordbury so frightened? How many secrets can one small town hide? I do apologise on my struggle with this. That is that one. Then we will go with... I picked this one for myself, and I think it was this one. So we'll do 2 of my books. So this is The Thread Needle. There's a magic in every nook and cranny in this fanciful novel that stalks the streets of London's underbelly. So, Anna's aunt has always warned her of the dangers of magic and its deadly consequences. She counts down the days to the ceremony that will bind her magic forever. That is until she meets Effie and Atis. They open her eyes to London she never knew existed, one filled with magical shops, a secret library where the librarian fends off worlds, and clubs where revellers lose themselves in a haze of spells. But as Annie is swept deeper into this world, she begins to wonder if her aunt was right all along. Is her magic a gift or a curse? And that was 50p, and originally $8.99. I'm not too sure whether it's maybe a young adult's book, maybe that one. And then it was in the shop where they are £1 each, or they are buy one get one free. So I thought, well, I'm already spending £1, so I had a little look. Nothing massively jumped out at me, but I got this one because I did think maybe my sister would like it if I can't get into it. And it is The Last Reunion. War would bring them together, but will it tear them apart? So we have Burma, 1945. Bee, Plum, Bubbles, Jo and Lucy are 5 young women looking for adventure, fighting a forgotten war in the jungle. running a mobile canteen and dodging hostile gunfire, they soon become embroiled in a battle that will haunt them for the rest of their lives. Then we jump to Oxford, 1976. At the height of an impossible hot English summer, a woman slips into a museum and steals several rare Japanese miniature sculptures. Despite a reward being offered, these exquisitely detailed carvings are never seen again. And then we jump to London and Galloway, 1999. On the eve of the millennium, Olive, an arts dealer assistant, meets an elderly widow, Beatrix, who is hoping to sell her husband's collection of Japanese art. And when they attend a New Year's Eve party in the Irish countryside, secrets kept for more than 50 years will be spilled. So I'm not too sure, but it sort of tickled my fancy. So we will see. We'll do the last of my books, The Garden of the Lost and Found. Again, I did think perhaps my sister would like this. This was £1. I got this one from Acorns. A sweeping novel you won't put down. I can't remember the last time I was so enthralled and affected by a story and its characters. How it sounds promising. England, 1918. To the millions who queued to see it, The Garden Lost and Found is an exquisite painting of childhood innocence. To Liddy, whose children play in that painted garden, it is a portrait of all she has lost. For her great-grandmother Juliet, it's an inherit of secrets she must try to understand. And Ned Horner, the genius who painted it, he only wanted to create a refuge from the outside world, but in so doing set his family on the path of destruction. Lose yourself in this unputtable down tale of the enduring power of family love told by 3 generations of extraordinary women. So I quite fancied that, so I will see how I get on with that. And then my sister has read the odd book of hers, Jo Moyes, I think is how you say it. So this is The Dancing Horse, a tale brimming with tenderness and romance, and not quite what she's normally into. Again, this one was £1. A small life, big dreams. A small life, big dreams, Weepy, that'll have you snivelling into your cocoa. In a hidden corner of London, I can't say her name, is teaching his name, Henry. Actually, it might be Henry, but it's Henri. Is teaching his granddaughter and her horse to defy gravity, just as he had done in France 50 years previously. But when disaster strikes, 14-year-old Sarah is left to fend for herself, forced to share a horse with her charismatic ex-husband. Her professional judgment called into question, lawyer Natasha's life seems to have gone away. When her path crosses Sarah's, she's a chance to put things right, but she doesn't know that Sarah is keeping a secret, one that will change their lives forever. So me and my sister did go horse riding when we were younger, when we were teenagers, so that's another reason why I thought she might like that book. Then I got, yes, these 3 go together. These were in Beacon for the Blind, and they were 3 books for £1. So there was 2 that I definitely thought she'd like. So then I can't remember which one out of these 2. I'll probably get to it in a second. But this one I picked up first, so I took a chance on one of them. So this is The Distant Hours. It's quite a big book, this one, isn't it? It started with a letter. Edie and her mother have never been close, but when a long-lost letter arrives one Sunday afternoon with the return address of Midhurst Castle, Kent, printed on the envelope, Edie begins to suspect her mother's emotional distance masks an old secret. Evacuated from London as a 13-year-old girl, Edie's mother was chosen by the mysterious Jupiter and taken to live at Mildhurst Castle with the Bailey family. 15 years later, Edie too is drawn to the castle and the eccentric sisters. Old ladies now, the three still live together, the twins nursing Jupiter, whose abandonment by her fiancé in 1941 plunged her into madness. Inside the decaying castle, Edie begins to unravel a mother's past, but there are other secrets hidden in the stones of Middlehurst Castle, and Edie's about to learn more than she expected. The truth of what happened in the distant towers has been waiting for a long time for someone to find it, and that just, it's secrets, it's probably got twists, it's very up my sister's street. Then we have Out of Our Depth, Drowning in Lies. In the lush green hills behind Florence sits the villa, a graceful presence surrounded by gardens. Rachel, a college student from an outer London suburb, can't believe her luck in landing a summer job here, especially when she's drawn into the circle of privileged young socialites, including her glamorous co-worker Diana, who promises to help Rachel win the affections of a handsome, confident Sebastian. But as champagne flows and the Riviera's festa in the Tuscan countryside, Rachel realises that Diana has motives of her own. Adrift in a world of backstabbing and bed-hopping, lavish parties and easy betrayal, Rachel feels the stakes are rising along with the temperatures until one night something snaps, someone dies, and nothing will ever be the same again. So again, I think that must have been the one that I thought, oh yeah, for my sister, probably getting an idea of what she likes now. And then this was the one I took my chance on. Two sisters, bound by family, divided by love, the Light Keeper's daughters. A Radio 2 book club choice this one was. Elizabeth grew up in a lighthouse, inseparable from her twin sister, Emily. Their father, the lighthouse keeper, kept a journal of his observations and their daily life. When those journals are discovered on a shipwreck boat many decades later, Elizabeth is living in a retirement home and her eyesight is failing. She enlists the help of a troubled teenager, Monica, to read to her, and an unlikely friendship grows between the two. But as Megan reads on, Elizabeth discovers that the past revealed is not as she remembers it, and what the journal may contain answers to unexplained events that have haunted her life forever. So again, it sounds like secrets and twists. Then these two I got from the library for my sister. These were 30p each. Sometimes when you buy library books, they've still got those plastic covers on, but considering these are library books, you can feel the creases down here, but they don't really feel like they've still got a bit of a bend in them. They don't really feel like they've been read too much. The Bones of You, Beautiful Places Can Hide the Darkest of Secrets. These are by the same lady, Debbie Howells. And then we have The Beauty of the End, Some Lies Can Never Be Forgiven. So I think this is the first one. When 18-year-old Rose disappears, life in the, I don't know what this word is, idyllic village where she grew up is never the same again. Rose was beautiful, kind and gentle. She came from a loving family and had her whole life ahead of her. Who could possibly want to harm her and why? Kate is a friend of the family, and she's certain someone in the village knows more than they're letting on. As the investigation deepens, so does Kate's observations so does Kate's obsession with solving the mystery of what happened to Rose. So that's that one. I think what drew me to it was probably the butterfly, because I do love butterflies. And then this is the next one, and it says, if you enjoyed The Bones of You, 2016's top-selling Richard and Judy book club success, then you'll love this breathtaking and gripping follow-up. A love he'd never forget. Ex-lawyer Noah has never forgotten his first love when years later he hears that she's suspected of murder. He knows with certainty that she's innocent. With April on life support and the evidence pointing towards her guilt, he's compelled to help her, but he's also unprepared as he's forced to confront what happened between them all those years ago. So again, another book that she'll definitely like. And then she does really love this author. These two I actually bought well before Christmas. These were 50p each. Leaving Time is Jenny Metcalf was with her mother the night she disappears, but she remembers nothing. I've just realised most of the books I picked by my sister do involve a woman or women disappearing. But yeah, she remembers nothing. In the wake of those tragic events, she has lost not one parent but two. Her father is in an asylum, and now she lives with her grandmother, who finds it too painful to talk about what happens. 10 years on, Jenny is the only one who still seems to care, and she's determined to seek the truth, no matter how shocking and life-changing it might be. I wonder if this one involves a missing woman. What does it mean to love someone to death? No, this could just be a murder. When Jamie MacDonald killed his wife, Lovely, he knew he might face a life sentence, but what was life in a world without Maggie? The case divides a small town of Warlock. James MacDonald has confessed to the premeditated murder. For his cousin police chief Cameron MacDonald, there's no question that this man should be arrested, tried. Family blood ties or no. But for Cameron's wife, Ali, it's not so clear-cut. She loves her husband more than life itself. If he were suffering and asked for help to die, I think I know where this is going. She knows she would do anything for him. Now, for the first time in their marriage, she finds herself set against Cam, siding with Jamie and wondering if what he says is right, that in a relationship, there's always one who loves more. I'm going to make an assumption here and say maybe the lady who died may have a long-term illness or a life-habilitating illness or something, or one that was going to cut her life short, and potentially asked her husband to put her out of her misery. I'm guessing that's where that's going. And then the last one is one of her more latest ones, which I've been on the hunt for my sister. This one was £2 and a hardback cover one. This is Mad Honey. It's the only thing with the hardback books is they always have this cover, and quite often they don't actually tell you what the book's about on the cover, so you kind of have to balance, don't you, to read this. And it is, I do like this with the bees on the inside and the purple. It's quite pretty, isn't it? What does it look like actually if we take this off? Oh, that is quite nice, isn't it? Because I know some people like to take these covers off and display them. So Olivia fled her abusive marriage to return to her hometown and take over the family beekeeping business. I'm guessing that's where the title comes from. When her son Asher was 6, now impossible, her baby is 6 feet tall. We've all been there, haven't we? And he's in his last year of high school. A kind, good-looking, popular ice hockey star with a tiny sprite of a new girlfriend. Lily also knows what it feels like to start over. When she and her mother relocated to New Hampshire, it was all about a fresh start. She and Asher couldn't help falling for each other, and Lily feels happy for the first time. But can she trust him completely? When Olivia gets a phone call, Lily is dead and Asher is arrested on charge of murder. As the case against him unfolds, she realises he has hidden more than he's shared with her. Oliver knows firsthand that the secrets we keep reflect the past we want to leave behind, and what we already know, and what we rarely know, the people we love as well. And we rarely know the people we love as well as we think we do. There we go, I got there in the end, didn't I? From the best-selling authors, Polkite, yeah, I can't say the rest of that. But the bottom we just say it's the most compelling, challenging and complimentary novel you will read this year. So that was £2 instead of £16.99. My sister, some of these my sister knows about and some of them she doesn't know about. Thank you so much if you've stuck with me in this video for this long, because it's going to be a bit of a long video, and that I did struggle there. I think what I might need to start doing is sitting down for 20 minutes before I film and maybe reread the back of the books, because obviously I store them up until I've got enough to do a video. Just reread them again. I'm still always going to mix up some words and struggle, but obviously it might flow a little better, so I might give that a go next time. So yes, I will be passing all these on to my sister. Well, not all of them obviously, but the 11 books for my sister and the 1 book for my dad. Putting my son's 2 back upstairs with his nice little collection of books that he's got going on, and mine will go along here somewhere. And then I will start all over again, keeping my eye in the charity shops, and obviously tabletop sales will be happening again, won't they, like spring fairs and stuff like that, and the car boots won't be too much longer. So yes, I will be back again at some point with another book haul, and I think once I've got at least 5 books that I've read this year, I'll probably do a little bit of a book review as well. So again, thank you so much if you've stuck with this video for this long. Please give me a thumbs up if you have. If you've read any of these books, let me know your thoughts on them below, or if any of them actually tickled your fancy and you're going to get them in the library, maybe buy them at full price or look out for them in the charity shops. Because obviously, like with my sister reading, what did I say, she's somewhere between book 9 and 11 of the year so far. It'd be really expensive, wouldn't it, to buy everything at full price. But yes, have a good week everybody, take care, and I will hopefully see you all again soon. Bye.